At the beginning of his ministry, one of the first things Jesus did was to cleanse the temple. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, Take these things hence, make not my Father's house an house of merchandise. The temple was a place where people went to offer sacrifices. The point was to bring a personal sacrifice, and by offering it up in the temple, it was made holy. Over the years, people took shortcuts and made deals. It was more convenient to have the animals there to sell, and people benefited from buying and selling with each other. But the problem is that this detracted from the true purpose of the temple, which was to be a place where people could develop a relationship with God, to enter his presence. And instead, it was cluttered with the things of the world, with noisy and smelly things that detracted from the true sacred purpose of that temple. And in verses 19 and 21, Jesus makes a direct parallel between the temple and our own bodies and souls, where he says, Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. And he spake of the temple of his body. If we are temples, are we using it for that sacred purpose? What offerings are we bringing? Or are our lives so cluttered with activities and things that we're completely distracted from our relationship with God? What thoughts and ideas or philosophies are so noisy that they're drowning out the sacred, simple, and still small voice of the truth? What substances that we just buy at the grocery store or over the counter or that are even prescribed are cluttering our bodies and our minds to the point where it's difficult to even feel the love and peace that the Savior desires to give us. And what people are offering to sell us things that we think we desire, but in reality, they're blocking our way to the Lord's presence. What things are we selling ourselves for? But more importantly, the real question is, what are we willing to sacrifice to be made pure in heart? When the Savior purified the temple, he made a whip and he cleared out all the cacophony and all the clutter, and he will do the same for you. And it might hurt. Sacrifice is not an easy thing. But if you have the courage to kneel down and ask the Lord what one thing you can start to work on right now, today, he will tell you. In fact, you might already have an inkling of it, but maybe in the past it was too scary or big to consider tackling on your own, and rightly so. It's not up to you to have the strength to overturn those tables. It's the Savior who has the authority and the power to cleanse your temple. I know from personal experience how painful that can be physically and emotionally, spiritually, but I also know how much better it is to have a holy temple, because it was after the Savior cleansed the temple that he could then meet people there in the temple to teach them and to heal them. And he will do the same for you if you're willing to sacrifice, to be consecrated, to be made holy and pure in heart.